In March 2026, one of the world's most vital maritime corridors fell under blockade. 3,000 kilometers away, the shock reached Indian ports, factories, and warehouses within days. This is the paradox of a connected economy. The more the world moves as one system, the more exposed it becomes to the fracture of a single choke point. For India, the answer cannot be improvisation. It has to be infrastructure, a national logistics grid resilient enough to absorb the next shock before it happens. At CargoNXT West India Edition 2026, this question opened the summit's very first business conversation, moderated by Dushyant Mulani, immediate past president of the Federation of Freight Forwarders Associations in India.
Our session today, the Integrated National Grid, Building India's Seamless Logistics Network. Very interesting, and something that what takeaway that we'll have from this session. I'm sure when you go out of this room, it will be a very enriching experience with this particular galaxy of participants here in this panel. Friends, to not wasting much of time, and we'll start bang on now.
The conversation began at sea. For 3 decades, global trade had been built on a single principle, just in time. Goods arriving exactly when needed, nothing held back, nothing wasted.
Basically, the third decade of this century has redefined the global maritime landscape, basically. So we are living through an era where just in time has evolved into just in case. Because geopolitical shifts and supply chain disruptions have proven that maritime resilience is no longer optional. It is a strategic necessity. The ongoing blockade of Strait of Hormuz, coming from March 26, tensions have created a severe multi-layered shock to global supply chains, requiring immediate transition from traditional low-cost logistics to resilience first strategies. These disruptions have direct implications for India.
If resilience was the strategic question, cost was the operational one. The distance a product travels inside India's logistics network is among the highest in the world.
Logistics is the one that determines how well you are able to service your customers. It is extremely important in terms of ensuring that your products reach at the right time and at the right place. Now, logistics, as easy as it seems, but sometimes the easiest things are the most difficult to execute. And I think for India, logistics, if I look at the benchmarking for across the globe, in India, the distance a product travels is probably among the highest across the world, right? Probably for 2 reasons. One is India is decently a big country. Also, the habitable area for India is extremely high. A simple example, China is probably 3x the area of India. The habitable area is very close to what India is for China. So the distance traveled for each product to reach the right customer is extremely high for India. And right now, I think the amount of distance a product travels, the efficiency at which it travels, this is definitely an area of opportunity as compared to the developed world or the rest of the world across.
That integration is already moving the needle on India's global standing. But the panel was clear that progress and urgency are not mutually exclusive.
I run my supply chain under the same umbrella, but primarily I have the same problem like everybody in this industry has, and that is of the logistics costs. And primarily this logistics cost comes from the inefficiencies in the system, which I think the prime discussion point is how do we integrate and have a national grid, build India's seamless logistics network. I think, there are a lot of work which has happened. So if you see LPI index, which is Logistics Performance Index of India, it has moved from like 6 points from 40, around 46 to 38. And then in 2025, we are ranked 22nd in the world. Most of the developed countries are not on the top 10, right? So they are beyond top 10, and primarily because of the regulation. So first of all is how we are operating, whether it is seamless. So to define seamless, whether all of the ministries are under the same umbrella. If not, then whether if I am importing, most of my goods are imported, my finished goods are imported. So there is a huge amount of inefficiencies there if my import shipment has to wait for different approvals. So by the time I get my product, that is 90 days, right? And there are customers like general trade does not accept any products which is more than 1 year old. So I spend 90 days from the time it is produced to when it reaches my warehouse. And then there is the wait for orders. There is a lot of inefficiencies. You build a pipeline because from general trade to a distributor to a retailer to a customer, it takes another 3 months to reach in this particular trade, which is the slowest among all the supply chain that I manage.
From national policy to a single doorstep, the session's sharpest pivot came from quick commerce.
First of all, I'm very glad to be within people of supply chain who understand that 10-minute delivery is not about labor exploitation. It's about design, it's about process, it's about how exactly we make people deliver things in 10 minutes because it's a 10 minutes radius. It's not about making people don't even delay things, right? So I'm very grateful that people sitting here are able to imagine that thing. We are able to imagine the circles from which orders are getting fulfilled, getting delivered to you as a customer, not by making people run on bikes, right? So that's first thing. When we talk about, so first of all, let me just put it this way. Quick commerce in India or quick commerce itself is very new. It's just 3-4 years. Itself is experimenting. Okay, nobody knows everything about it. Nobody has a playbook. There were US companies like Gorilla and all who try to do it, but thanks to Indian population, thanks to density, we are able to survive. Processes or the concept itself is not very new. People tried it, people tested it. Because of the cost, they did not continue it. Versus, if we talk about Bombay itself, Bombay right now is doing what, around 4 lakh orders per day. Each order contains at least 5 to 6 items. So that means the future is that it can't die. People will not stop ordering. It's just like when Swiggy and Zomato had came up in India delivering foods. There were 50% of people who were not using it. Right now, every other person would just open up an app and start delivering orders, right? So यहाँ culture है. People, I'm glad that people are getting easier. तो ये धंधा तो चलने वाला है.
Zoom out, and the ambition is unmistakable. India's logistics providers are already competing for and winning global confidence.
The kind of service industry that we are able to give the multinational companies is impeccable. And though our logistic cost is higher today, but we are working day in and day out to improvise that cost. Various factors, of course, are the reasons behind the cost that is involved. But I think we have a lot of potential and a lot of opportunities coming our way, like the Gati Shakti itself, the multi-modal that we are creating, the interline that we're connecting by rail, improvised roads. I think we're doing a lot of change, and I think there's a big chance of us becoming world leaders.
Yet, world-class ambition still runs into very local gaps, nowhere more starkly than in the handling of dangerous goods.
If you look at a very late regulation of roads in India, the MSIFC rule, which is manufacture, handling, import storage of the rest of it. The listing of chemicals are not by the international standard. There are no product chemical name. Now imagine somebody is importing a material, he is using the UN regulation by IMDD. He comes over here, and then this guy will say, no one combine. This is no, because he has a even number. We don't have idea number for this. Now, unless and until we get his rule integrated or aligned to the UN model for the even number, proposition, Azad classification, we have process all. And these only happen once we get a very uniform understanding about how we classes like a daily regulatory returns or the same real number of the proposition transactions.
Pulled together, the session's 6 voices did not describe 6 separate problems. They described one grid under construction, resilient at sea, honest about its costs, fast at the last mile, ambitious on the world stage, and still finishing its safety net. What this conversation made clear is that India's logistics grid is no longer being planned in isolation. It is being built in real time across ports, highways, dark stores, and regulatory desks by people who are choosing resilience over convenience. CargoNXT, connecting leaders, ideas, and the next generation of logistics. More conversations like this happened at the CargoNXT Logistics and SCM Summit West India edition, coming soon. India's intelligent era, smart markets, smart manufacturing, smart movement.